SABC political, or rather international news editor Sophie Mokoena was at the commemoration of the Battle of Cuito Cuanavale, and we understand that the former Speaker of Parliament and also an ANC veteran, Baleka Mbete, is on the podium at the moment. Let's take you live to Freedom Square now.
To make sure they know this history, so that they know why things are the way they are. This reminds me of a night when I listened to Kaya FM, which is one of my favorite radio stations. And I heard a presenter on a topic of discrediting Cuba, interviewing two young doctors who had come back from Cuba, from training in Cuba, who were complaining and criticizing the conditions under which they lived in Cuba. Until I felt very proud when a young person I knew who grew up in front of me, who's the child of one of our, in fact, our ambassador in Namibia, Comrade Tenjiwe Mtinso, the son Lumumba, called in and put perspective to the relationship of South Africa with Cuba. He gave the detail of where the agreement between our founding president, Nelson Mandela, and Fidel Castro, how it came about, what it took into consideration, what the people of Cuba themselves suffer and have been suffering for decades, based on the history that you've just been listening to. Very fortunately, shortly after Lumumba's call, the then ambassador of South Africa to Cuba, Taninga Shope, also managed to come through and to speak about the embargo that Cuba lives under, and how even the UN system has shown how year in, year out, a majority of countries of the world at the UN vote against the embargo, but continuously the embargo continues and the people of Cuba are strangled economically. And she, Taninga, also happened to have gone to school not only at higher education level, but at primary school level in Cuba. So she explained that what these young doctors are complaining about is nothing. Everybody in Cuba lives like this. It's not as though you are being singled out for this problem. But the Cubans are still able to stick their necks out and take principled positions about the situation globally, and have actually also supported us South Africans and are giving us these possibilities to come and study where we wouldn't in our own countries be able to have those opportunities to study. And therefore I stand here with pride to say, today I stand in the name of an organization that has come together, that has been formed by people who were in the liberation struggle, not only from my own organization, the ANC, but from different organizations of South Africa who have formed themselves around an agreement and taking a strong position that they agree and they are determined to collaborate, even though they come from different political party formations, political organizations from the ANC, from the PAC, from Black Consciousness Movement, from AZAPO, from Unity Movement, people coming from different strands of the liberation struggle over the decades have come together and have said, we are not here to quibble, to argue, to fight about political issues. We are here to collaborate about the preservation of our liberation struggle records. So NALISA stands for the National Liberation Heritage Institute of South Africa. And we are proud to say we have finished 4 full years. No money, we have nobody giving us money to work. We have nobody who runs the organization full-time. We only have determination, we have love, we have passion for liberation heritage, we have determination that the younger generation must find this liberation record intact. We keep these records, and we now are proud to say 4 years ago we were registered by the Master of the Court, and I am the chairperson of the founding board of trustees. We have trustees from the ANC, the PAC, and Black Consciousness. At this moment, there are 5 trustees because we needed somebody to take the place of our late comrade, Billy Maseta, who was one of the founding trustees. Comrades, this is hard work. This is difficult work. This is work that involves going all over the place and identifying where the records of the struggle are. We decided to go this direction of having a multi-party formation, of having a non-partisan vehicle, because at the party political head offices, working as single organizations, we found it very hard. The ANC, even though it is the biggest, we had run out of even space, just space to keep the records. So that became a big hurdle. And as it is, the archives still need a lot of young people to be trained as archivists, to be trained as people who know how to sort records, to keep them intact so that you keep the integrity of that record. You don't interfere with it. You don't actually steal the records, because that also happens. So I am proud to stand here to say, into the 5th year of this registered organization that is working mainly with people who are volunteering their energies, who are volunteering their skills, who are volunteering whatever knowledge they have. They give their time free of charge to come and help to make sure we preserve the records of the struggle of liberation. At the end of this year, I personally, as a founding chairperson of the Board of Trustees, intend handing over to someone younger, because I was brought up under an organization which at that time did not teach us that leadership means it's a job for you to make money and to get a big stomach and become very rich, you and your family, out of the work that is supposed to be about the freedom and the rights of our people, the sacrifices of the people who died.
All right, the ANC veteran, as well as the former Speaker of Parliament, that is Baleka Mbete, an ANC veteran there at the commemoration of the Battle of Cuito Cuanavale, that, of course, taking place at Freedom Square today.
Tomorrow.